Boy, this Crawl, another Turkish gun, stands for Royal or King. This is the puncher breaker. There's a small gun for you, easy to move around in thick brush. A scope that has a focus down here on the what we call the ocular lens. It also has an adjustment here on the forward lens, and this actually focuses in the distance. In this example, 30 yards away. What in the world does this AO adjustment do? Well, for one thing, it makes the picture I'm looking at crystal clear, but it does something else. It keeps the gun, the crosshairs right on the target, even if I move my head a bit back here. So it's kind of nice to have a scope up here. And we're going to be talking about optics today, binoculars particular. But I always get questions about my hat, so let me explain this part of my hat collection today. I'm Dr. Russ. Welcome to our backyard. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about binoculars. But we live here in southeast Michigan, which is near Detroit, which is the only place you actually travel south to get into Canada. South, not north, south. But that's not where I was born. I was born in El Paso, Texas. And you went south to get into Mexico. And in Mexico, they had something there, a sport called cockfighting. I think you can see that here on this hat that I'm wearing. I was at one cockfight in my life. They tie razor blades to the heels of roosters, cock roosters. And when the fight gets going, feathers and blood and everything goes 100 directions. One of those was enough for me. And I should tell you, bullfighting isn't any cleaner. There's a lot of blood and gore in that one too. Let's talk about binoculars. Well, it's nice to have good optics when you hunt, when you even target practice with air guns. A good spotting scope will allow you to zoom in on your target and see exactly where those bullets are hitting. A good scope on the gun will tell you the same thing. But binoculars, when do we use binoculars? And often that's out in the field when we're actually hunting. I've got all kinds of binoculars. I thought I had some Zeiss and Swarskys. Swarskys are made in Austria, and Zeiss are made in Germany. I actually have two pairs of Zeiss. I have a pair of Zeiss. You see, when Germany was split up between East and West, the Russians had the East, and they had Carl Zeiss's factory over there, and they continued to make some of the finest binoculars in the world, the Russians. And they put those binoculars on the towers that overlooked that wall between East and West Berlin. I got a pair of one of those binoculars once in an army surplus store, believe it or not. Anyway, you kind of get what you pay for, and you better know what you're doing when you shop for binoculars, or you can make some horrible mistakes. I'm hoping today to make sure you don't make any mistakes when you buy binoculars. First of all, let's just talk about binoculars in general. Here's a very small pair, and this is a very inexpensive pair made by Jason. 10 power, 10 up to 25 power. I'm sorry. 10 power up to a 25 size lens. Notice the back end though. This is for people with eyeglasses, so that your eyeglasses can fit right up and be at the right distance. Where on any other type of binoculars, you've got to make adjustments for glasses like this and bring them back to the eyes, or push these forward for somebody who wears glasses like me. So these binoculars are made just for people who wear glasses. That's a nice small pair, great for the glove box or a pocket if you want to take them to a football game or something. For years and years and years, binoculars came in just two sizes, 7 by 50 and 7 by 35. This happens to be a 7 by 35, an old set, but this came from Sears way back when Sears was really getting some nice lead and nice leaded glass and binoculars out of Japan. These even had some night vision aspects to them, and so I really kept these as just an excellent pair. I found those in a flea market, believe it or not, for about 12 bucks, but they're probably worth 80, 90. Now here's another pair, that same kind of thing, 7 by 35. You see it's small and compact. And something that I don't like is variable power. I've never found a pair of binoculars or anything with variable power that gave us nice, good, crystal clear views. This had the variable, that did not. This goes clear up to 7 by 15 in the 35 size. How do you know when you're getting a really good pair of binoculars and when somebody's putting some wool over your eyes? Well, I've got a couple of ways to know. One is I look at these scope caps. When I see inexpensive scope caps, I'm thinking this is an inexpensive pair of binoculars. And we have wind today. When we have good lens covers, that's a sign that we have some very good binoculars, if you will. This happens to be a pair of Cabela's. I'm not sure who makes the binoculars for Cabela's, but it turned out in their cave, which is where they sell returned items and discounted items, that this was just an excellent pair of binoculars. And these are small. They're probably, oh, maybe a little bigger than this, but in your hand they're actually smaller. And this happens to be, if you look real carefully there, this is a 12 by 50. Well, now we don't have 7 power, we're looking at 12, and nice big 50 millimeter size lenses in the front. This was an excellent pair of binoculars. Another excellent pair is these from Redfield. Redfield makes great rifle scopes, and notice the lens covers, nice ones. Had the nice ones up here. This is nice and small. Look at the power, 10 by 42. Now there's some purists, if you will, who talk about that 10 by 42, and they do some division work. 10 goes into 42 4.2 times. They say that our eyes can only accept light of 6.1 or 2. And that means that any time we go beyond that, our eyes aren't accepting the light anyway. And that's when the big deer, the big elk move, is early morning, late evening. We're really looking for all the light we can. And so there could be an argument to not exceed that 6 rule when you divide the magnification into those objective lenses on the end to get anything different from a 6. You want to get right up to 6 and then let it go at that. Another thing that I watch for in binoculars, again, is any kind of variable. And in this case, it's not variable, but it has this centerpiece which helps us with the magnification, with the focus. And I'm not a real proponent of that either. I would say you want to stay away from glasses that's a Bushnell set. But over here, here's a very good Bushnell set, and it's 12 by 42 again. Good lens covers, nice rubber, waterproof, etc. Something that I would stay away from too, we know that we want coated optics. When you see that the lenses are red, orange, that's a gimmick in my book. And coated lenses are very, very important. But let's see. Yeah, here's some coated lenses. And you see it's blue. You want to you want to watch out for red lenses. Another way you know if it's good or bad is look at the case. Good binoculars come in a good case. In this case, leather. If it's cheap vinyl, it's probably a less expensive binocular. Here's a case from those red fields. One of the things that's interesting is that Bushnell is one of the biggest out there, and they make cheap binoculars, and they make very, very good binoculars. You need on binoculars to know that we're going to bend them to the point where we get one nice big round picture. That'll only happen at one place in this bend. Any other place, you're either going to not be able to see through them, or you're going to see two circles but not one nice one. You focus here, and you focus in this particular case with one eye. These will allow you to wear glasses or not wear glasses for them. Power. Well, the moment you get up over 7-8 power in binoculars, you're going to have a little trouble with shake. So that's when you have more power than that. This happens to be a pair of Nikon that are 16 by 50s. So these are high powered, big lenses on the end, nice focus adjustments. You can get that one big large circle out of them. But you're going to want to brace yourself against a tree or on a table to get a nice clear picture with 16 power, because that goes way beyond that 7. That's why these 7s were so popular for years. It's pretty easy to hold it onto one particular setting and stay on it. These Nikon were not bad. I think Walmart has these for around 90 bucks. The cases, oh, the cases can be all kinds of cases. Here's a nice case for Vortex, and you can see that we have the entire harness to go on and wear it on your chest, and just keep it right here and keep it protected rather than banging around out here. So when it comes to binoculars, those really, really expensive binoculars, Zeiss, Swarovskis, they're great if we're hunting out west, because you just do a lot of glassing, looking for those deer down in the wheat, down in the up against rocks. They're very difficult to see, and so you get up to a position, you climb, your heart's racing, you're tired, you've been climbing all morning, and you finally get on this little bluff and you start watching and glazing out here. But if you don't have those $700, $800, $900 binoculars, you're going to go to bed at night and your eyes are tired. Red, you have to use eye drops because you use an inexpensive pair of binoculars. So if you don't live out west, you don't need those expensive ones. If you live out west, you need to gravitate to them, particularly if you're going to hunt and do glassing all day long. Well, I hope we helped you today understand something about binoculars and how they work. Consider subscribing. We've got over 2,000 subscribers. We're just a little over a year old. We come out with a new video about every 2 weeks. Give us a thumbs up. That's part of Google's recipe on who's good out there and who's not. Leave a comment. That helps me. I respond to all comments, and I'm responding, and I like to read them because I like to know, what did we leave out? What should be put into the next video so that you stay air gun sharp?